the background as well.
Hello.
Okay. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Listen, I'm waiting for you to come back for more, okay?
That's hysterical.
I know,
love
right?
it.
Yes.
I love it. All right, well, I'm going to let all of our people come in, and yeah, we're just going to get going. So I have a lovely client of my mother's that has come on for a success story. I know we're kind of pre-poning it a little bit, but that's okay because we have a lot of good, juicy things to dive into. And so for all intensive purposes, I'm just going to call her T. This is her new name now, okay? She's going to go and she's going to change it legally. This is her name. This is how she will identify in the world. Her name is T now, okay? Just so everybody knows. And she's here to share this amazing success story that she has obviously accomplished through coaching with Kim and Sam. And we're honestly just gonna dive in, and I'm gonna start out like real easy. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and I'll pick a few. But I have a few questions for our little Q&A success story. And honestly, I think where would be a good way for all of us to establish a baseline is first of all asking you, like, where were you when you first found me? I think that would be a good understanding for us to know, you know, what was exactly happening in your life during that period of time, and where was the baseline that we were starting with?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I'm just like really amazed and that I'm actually even a part of this testimonial, if you'll say.
I love it.
Because I came across you, it's been almost a year ago.
Crazy how time goes.
Yes. And I was actually a lot of things that you were saying, Persis, and I was telling your incredible mom as well, that everything that you were saying, it resonated really more so with my spirit.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff was confirmation. It was like you were helping me put pieces to a puzzle together.
Yeah.
You know, and I honestly
sense.
still feel like it's unfolding for other areas, but I'm excited about what happened when I was telling your mom with my SP, which I was not just super focused on SP. I was really focused on self-concept.
Yeah.
When you talked about that, it just really resonated with me so heavily. Like, it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm a person who is like always looking to improve self. Yeah. Basically.
I agree with you. Same. Absolutely same. That's why we click. That's why we get along.
Yes. I'm always looking to improve self, like I said. So for me, it was really like, I just want to hear more about this, to continue to evolve and grow as a person. And the more that I began to listen to what you were saying, I really watched a lot of your testimony, your videos of everybody's successes and all that stuff, your success stories.
Yeah.
And there's actually one video I watch over and over again till this day.
I love it.
Yeah, and it's really because of everything that you say. I really hope that the people who are paying attention to what you're doing, and I love how you always say, I'm just doing God's work, because that's literally what I feel like it is too. Like, you're really showing people a blueprint to a beautiful life if they just took heed to it and, like you said, just put to practice the different things that you're saying. They will literally watch things happen. And that's how it happened for me. I just took like one small thing that like one thing that you were saying, and I was like, let me just do this to see what's going to happen. You know?
Let me just take a shot in the dark. Let's just see what happens. And honestly, that's
Yes.
the best way to do it. You know, I don't mean to interrupt, but just for 2 seconds, like
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
say this on all of my calls. I'm like, you know, Bill Nye the Science Guy, just imagine it's Persis the Science Girl. I say that all the time. And I'm like, I just want you to approach things with scientific curiosity. Because
Yes.
that's the energy to win. If you're going to come into something critical, already doubting, with this maybe like even nose in the air, like egotistical type of thing of like, oh, you know, like this isn't going to work for me. Like you already have like a sour attitude about it. And you're like, this isn't going to happen.
Right.
This doesn't do anything. This doesn't work. It's like, well, no shit, it doesn't work. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
It's
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
a coincidence. I like to think that, you know, one of my favorite quotes that I go by a lot of quotes, but one of my favorite ones that I'm resonating with a lot right now is the man who says he can and the man who says he can't are both right. And it's all about
That's
what
right.
side you want to play to. You know what I mean? It's all
right.
about what side you want to play to. You came into our world because you were wanting to improve your finances, and yet in the process of just doing self-concept work, you actually ended up attracting in a very specific person into your life to basically show up in a completely new manner. And it just goes to
Yeah.
show that when you work on the actual pieces of the puzzle that create 90% of the change, like change bleeds into all areas of your life all the time. It's just that
Yes.
potentially in the past, and I'm curious, this is kind of my second question, do you feel like you were in a scenario where, this is the way I think of it, either we weren't working on the right thing or we weren't working on it in a way that actually produced change. Like we weren't working on it correctly is the best way to put it. And so I'm kind of curious, what do you feel like, because correct me if I'm wrong, how long were you even trying to manifest that before coming into our world?
Girl, I don't even, it's actually embarrassing to say how long.
Are you going to give me a heart attack?
It's okay, girl.
You're going to give me a heart attack? You know what makes me nervous when people be coming onto my places and they're like 3 years, 4 years, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years.
No, it's been a minute. I'll just say it's been a minute. I don't want to scare anybody.
No, I want to hear it now. You can't tease me like that. You can't tease me. You can't just lie this little piece of thing in front of my face and be like, oh no, I'm not sure.
Well, I'll say it has been probably like 4 years.
Okay.
It hasn't been too bad, but honestly, and I meant to actually tell you, this is a person that I've actually known for a long time.
So
This is a person I have known for a long time, though.
so almost a whole college degree then. Just that's the way my brain heard your words that came out of your mouth. Just a
Yes.
whole degree, just a bachelor's. That's all,
Yes.
just a bachelor's. And
Yes.
then how long were you in our program? And then, like, you know what I mean? Like, what was the time frame of this success story? Through what was it?
Remember, she was originally trying for money.
I know that.
Yes.
But then from her start to where the success story came in with this specific person, was that 3 weeks? I can't remember what was that time frame looking like.
The time frame of that, it was probably like, honestly, I think it was less than that. When I began to see an abrupt change.
Yeah.
Within that person, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, immediately it was just like, you know, like I need to stop playing. This is what I need to be doing with you.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing. Yeah, it was very, very soon. I would say it was like 3 weeks or a little less, really.
2
I
to
think it
3
was like a
weeks.
little
We'll
less.
say
And,
we'll say
yeah,
roughly
and-
2 to 3 weeks. So isn't
Yeah.
that crazy to go from like a whole bachelor's and a whole college degree that you've been working at this to just casually, like, you know, a 2-3 week little escapade? Like she just did a little side quest and she got her stuff basically.
Yes. Yes.
And she wasn't even trying for it. But the reason that this happened the way that it did, and I want to be so clear so that it can help motivate and inspire others, is because she started to work on the correct thing in the correct manner. What I mean by that is so many people in the world, so many people, like I kid you not, are out there and they're doing different manifestation techniques. And I literally just made a post about this, but I said in the post, I was like, do you know why some people, like affirmations work for some people, but not for all people? It's because different people need different techniques for how their brains work. And not only that, but a lot of people don't even know what is actively preventing them and blocking them from experiencing the things that they want. Like, I love affirmations, and I think affirmations are lovely, but they don't work when they aren't shifting your underlying emotions,
or if they're not even like targeting the right thing,
and if they're not even targeting the right thing. A lot of people don't even know why they don't have what they want in their experience.
And why do we affirm, you know?
Exactly. And everything, all these blockages, these limiting beliefs, they stem back to your childhood trauma or your first formative experiences that you have in love or money or health or whatever it may be. Like, think about it. Like, really, really think about it, guys. Why are some techniques a gold mine for some, and for others, they don't work at all? Well, that's because certain techniques speak to how their brain works, and not every technique or plan is transferable to another human being, to another person. Like, you can't change beliefs, assumptions, or your identity without shifting your emotions. And that's probably why you're doing the things, but nothing's shifting. And that's because your emotions are not changing. And that is actually what is keeping you blocked from your ideal reality, ideal manifestation, ideal situation. Because how your brain works is different from how my brain works, which is different from how T's brain works. But by being open-minded to do the deeper emotional healing work, rather than, hear me out, I know it's going to sound crazy, obsessing over your outcome, which a lot of people do because their outcome is on this pedestal. Understand that when you're more obsessed with your healing over your outcome outcome happens automatically. Like, I need you guys to really, really hear that. Because until people are more obsessed with the process that creates success or the healing that happens in the process rather than the end outcome, that's how you create things with a more effortlessness and a more ease in your life. No one in the history of our coaching has ever obsessed over the outcome and then got it. They obsessed over the process that created the outcome, and then the outcome happened automatically. And that's the type of elite mindset that I want to put you on, because until you're ready to do that bigger girl, bigger boy work and shift and de-pedestal that situation, you're going to be stuck for a long period of time. And you might even be resentful or confused as to why year by year, you know, things keep passing by. And it just kind of seems like you're reliving the past 3 months over and over again. Like, has anyone ever felt that? Because I know I have. Like, I have oftentimes felt like I'm just reliving the same 3 months of my life over and over again, despite being in a scenario where I have such an abundance of understanding, you know, when it comes to self-development, personal growth, however you want to put it. When you do the deeper work, you can shift into your desired reality pretty instantly. Like, it's not a coincidence to me that she's been at it for 4 years, a bachelor's. This is going to be the new joke. And then casually in 2 to 3 weeks, now all of a sudden she has an outcome. So I am kind of curious, because I know I didn't get your answer for the question, but do you think that it was more you weren't working on the right thing? Or do you feel like which side of that equation do you feel like you were, that what was preventing you is what I'm going at?
I believe what was preventing me was, like I told you, I was missing a puzzle piece, basically. Yeah, I feel like I was missing a major puzzle piece.
Yeah.
And of course, it's like a indescribable, I don't even know how to describe it. Yeah. But once I definitely began to listen to your teachings and even some of your subliminals, that's when I was just like, you know what? This is amazing. And I want to stay at it. Basically. I love it. I want to stay at it.
I love it.
Stay at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the success story. I know the people want to hear, and obviously I want the dirty details. You know, I always say that I want the juicy details. So when it comes to the scenario, let's dive into what was the actual success story. So maybe give us a little play-by-play when it comes into, obviously, like you were doing the work, like that first big amount of movement came in, and then this happened, and then that happened. Like, I want to dive into the actual success that you got the opportunity to have.
Yes, the success is it's amazing. I can't, like, the obsession is real. The obsession is very real. And I really appreciate how you word things. And I'll, of course, continue to go back to the story. But I want to say that I really appreciate how you word things, because it's not manipulation. It's not this and it's not that. Like, it really is actually, like, to me, just claiming what you want to see, period. And that's it, and believing it, and of course, just following the different steps, like you said, of what works for you, because like you said, affirmations does not work for everybody, and certain other techniques. But really, the major thing for me was switching a flip of the switch of the emotional state. I noticed that, like, once I got the emotional state, and like I said, here again, going back to self-concept, you guys, if y'all have not listened to Persis' teachings on self-concept, please do, because this life trajectory changing, period. It really is. It really, really is. And I really began to fall in love with myself in a deeper, meaningful way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I needed to do that. It brought a lot of release to a lot. It actually released a lot of condemnation, guilt, shame.
Yeah.
It really, really did. It shifted a number on me, and I really appreciate that. But anyway, going into the success story. The success story is about the SP, the SP, and of course, like, when I'm coming into contact with Persis, I was listening, like I said, for self-concept, and I'm looking to shift the entire narrative, my entire story, basically. Yeah. And we're still in the process of shifting the entire story as a whole. But having the SP be the way that the SP is right now is very encouraging.
Yeah.
In the midst of the process. And also, too, another thing that I want to point out that could help people when one of the first things I do when I get up is I say, I am worthy, I am deserving of the absolute best, period. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, I deserve what I'm asking for.
Yep.
No other way.
Yep.
And I continue to tell myself that, honestly, a lot of times throughout the day, because like I said, here again, we're undergoing and shifting other circumstances as well, and, yes, but anyway, when it came to the situation, even with, like I said, just practicing around with SP being an example of being an incredible, successful example, I literally was like, no, this is how he has to be with me. Yeah. This is what he has to do with me. Like, there is no other way for this. Like, and also, too, one of the things that you, that I saw that you posted, and I actually just screenshotted it and saved it in my notes, and I began to say, like, recite it every day. about the like when you said who I want wants me 100 times more, I actually say this first. Is I say who I want wants me 1,000,000 times more.
Yeah.
And I actually, just say all of that stuff.
It's a dangerous affirmation. It's a dangerous affirmation. I tell you.
So dangerous.
I be doing the Lord's work, and it is a dangerous affirmation. You be prepared. You be prepared. You better put your big girl pants on when you're doing that affirmation, because things are going to be moving.
The funny thing about it, yes, because the funny thing about it is even the SP actually was trying to contact me before I was reaching out to y'all, and I was like, oh, I'll call you back. Like, he literally tells me, okay, I actually said this. I said this one day. I actually heard you saying this on one of your teachings. Okay. Like they should be thanking God, their God, for you every day.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I actually began to say that, and sure enough, like a few hours later, when we got together, he literally said, "I thank God for you every day."
Shut up.
I had to act like I wasn't as flabbergasted internally as I was.
I'm just doing the Lord's work. That's the theme of this freaking live, because that is crazy, but like not crazy at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like it's crazy, but it's like it's not. It's a complicated situation. It's a complicated emotion. But isn't that just wild? So how early did that stuff start to occur then? That must have happened in like the first week.
Yeah, no, that happened. So basically this is another thing, like the processes of the whole SP thing. It was very interesting because my SP was dealing with some really deep traumas that needed to be talked about. And basically my SP is like, you should be a therapist.
It's hysterical.
Because I help like walk them through their healing process. With their stuff that they've been going through. Or that they have been going through, I should say. Anyway.
Right.
But it's a beautiful thing. Like basically that is what happened first, honestly. And that's the beautiful part about it. Because you kind of like, you want to know like what was hindering a person from doing X, Y, and Z, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that is actually what started. The floodgates opened by them talking about different traumas and different things that they've been through.
Yeah.
And also just accepting and knowing that I am here to offer something completely different.
Yeah.
Than what they experienced. And they look at me and I'm the apple of his eye kind of situation, and he really trusts me in a way that he doesn't trust anybody.
Yeah.
So it's really it was really cool to experience that. But anyway, that happened. I would probably say like a few weeks later. Yeah, I don't even know. I can't guesstimate the actual time.
No, it's good.
But it was like right then and there. But it's been absolutely amazing. We're actually getting ready to go get my engagement ring. And we're getting all that. Like we've been looking at houses and all kind of stuff.
What?
And he is, yes.
Shut up.
He's literally like,
I feel like this is a Princess Diaries moment. Are you understanding my reference? It's like, shut up. What? Pardon?
Yes.
Excuse me?
And that's one of my favorite movies.
Paolo is exhausted because Paolo takes this and this and gives you a bride, basically.
Yes.
I'm obsessed. I did not know there was an engagement in this process, and now we're just casually house shopping.
Yes, casually house shopping, and literally telling me I will go anywhere in the world that you want to go. I just want to be with you.
I can't. I mean, it's like it's the craziest, most complex emotion when we say like we can't understand it or we can't believe it, but it's like, oh wait, I created this. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's wild. I need a raise. That's what I have to say about this situation. This is crazy.
I'm telling you, like, if people only knew the depth of what you're teaching, like, your teachings really are life-changing. And here's the thing, like, just to kind of, like, give not too much of a deep backstory, but just to kind of give, like, an overlook, like, I've been researching, like, Persis last year, the beginning of last year, I literally read 7 books in 1 month on quantum and all of these different things. But literally when I came in contact, and the funny thing about it is I was literally asking God, asking universe, like, I need this puzzle piece. I feel like I'm missing one puzzle, and you were a godsend, literally. I really believe, and the other thing that's really cute too is we both are Scorpios. I paid very close attention to that. And I'm not like deep into zodiac stuff, but I definitely represent my birthday being 11/11, kind of thing. So
that's nice.
Yeah. And everybody literally loves that. Oh my gosh, so many people. A lot of people, deal with the angel numbers. But you really reminded me so much of myself. It was just insane. I was like, gosh, that's going to be my friend.
I love it. That's such a nice compliment. And honestly, like, I think there's a lot of people out there, in obviously a lot of different zodiac signs, but like in the sense, I don't know, I just feel like I've attracted the most incredible tribe of individuals, like men and women. And we are just like really getting on because we can relate to each other's experiences. I think that I mean, you know me, like I will sometimes make videos, literally posting videos of me like sobbing profusely on my page. And there are so many people that come back to me and they're like, Persis, I love the fact that you're a human. And nobody really captures like that raw emotional side. She's like, I feel like I can trust you. I relate to you. I know that you know what I'm struggling with. And I think that's what makes things a little bit special and different, is that I never wanted to be someone who just posted this beautiful glamorized situation. Like, you're going to see me also walk through the mud, and you're going to be able to witness even my, struggles and my difficulties. And what's really crazy and insane is like some people just have such a flawed perception of coaches, where it's like coaches need to have like this perfect life. And that's only because coaches don't share their hardships. I share like every single hardship I've ever had in my whole life. Yeah. And then people will be like, but aren't you supposed to have like a perfect self-concept? And I just find that comment to be so hysterical, because it's like we're human beings that will never always have everything figured out. Like, even if you have love sorted, okay, then there's money. Even if you have love and money sorted, okay, then there's health. Even if you have those sorted, okay, but then there's friendships, but then there's family. But that, you know what I mean? It's like the work never stops. But I don't even want to call it work because that sounds tedious. It's more of just getting your life into more of a perfect flow and perfect ease across all areas. And the truth of the matter is it's like, we have so many areas of our lives that could use improvement. But it's really, really hysterical. I think it's really funny. Like, we are never going to be perfect people, and we're always going to desire for something. Even if we have like $1 million, we'll be like, okay, but I want like 1,000,001. I want like 2 million. I want like 4 million now. I want like 6 million now. Like, like you're never going to stop desiring. And so you're always going to be in a scenario where you have more of a situation. It's wonderful because once you start to get things to work out, it doesn't become as tedious or as arduous to be able to duplicate the same results again and again. It's more like you do the blood, sweat, and tears potentially in the beginning to shift at a fundamental level to make the rest of your life easier to shift. Because it's not always supposed to be as hard as it is in the very beginning. But if I've held beliefs about myself, as an example, being not worthy or not deserving or not good enough since I was 4, well, guess what? It's going to hurt a little bit to get that stuff out. And it's going to be I'm going to be in a scenario where I'm going to be temporarily uncomfortable. Am I okay with being temporarily uncomfortable for a long-term benefit to fundamentally heal myself, change how I see myself, and therefore change how the world works out for me and how my manifestations come to me? If I'm on the big girl thing, if I'm on the big boy thing, the answer will always be yes. If I'm not quite yet, I'm going to be in hesitancy. I'm going to be in lack. I'm going to be in doubt. I'm going to be in questioning. I always tell people, it's not until the pain of staying the same supersedes the pain that is required in change that anything happens at all. You know what I mean? Because nothing can happen. Yep. Nothing can happen in that space. You've got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired and say, I'm willing to accept that pain because at least it's going to come with a happy freaking ending. At least it's going to come with a cathartic experience that actually propels me forward towards my dreams, my goals, my desires, my ambitions, my manifestations. So would I rather be here and miserable and then just continue to stay here and miserable and stuck and reliving the same 3 months of my life out over and over again? Or would I rather be, miserable and sad and depressed, but at least like moving through these beliefs, moving through this pain, moving through these emotions so that I can be better tomorrow, be better the day after that, actually move my life ahead? When I started to work on this, it was amazing because I was so similar to T. I call it that I wasted, I'm going to put that in air quotes, 3 years, probably potentially even more of that on my life on different coaches and these one-off techniques that didn't get me anywhere. But when I found out and when I discovered the knowledge that I have now, and I did that process, I literally changed my life in like 60 days. 60 days from three plus years. And I remember, and you know what the best thing about this is? It's going to sound depressing, but it's actually like motivating for me. Like I remember every year that I cried at Christmas. I remember every year I cried on my birthday. I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was sobbing profusely, so sad, so depressed, so miserable. And I actually am happy that I have those experiences because look at what my life is now. It's a byproduct of my freaking hard work. And so I'm happy that that happened to me because once I actually figured out how to change my reality by 90%, it didn't take a long time. And that's my only goal for you to be motivated by. It's not for you to take, fast manifestations, type of thing, and then be like, but that doesn't work, and this isn't this way, and this isn't that way. Remember that none of the people that get fast results were obsessed with fast results. Am I right, T, or am I wrong?
That's right.
None of them gave a rat's patootie about a fast outcome. They were obsessed with healing. And the outcome happened because they were obsessed with that. That's what I mean when I say until you're more obsessed with feeling good, until you're more obsessed with the process than your shiny little object, it's not going to work. Your priorities, your mindset isn't correct. It isn't straight. And so it's just so important to come to these realizations at your own time. Maybe that's not your mindset today. Maybe it's your mindset 3 months from now, but it's the winning mindset. It's the mindset you should seek to have eventually, if it's not today. And understand that you should never compare your journey with someone else's. I tell people all the time that get obsessed and they come into my world because we produce fast outcomes and we take a lot of pride in that. And they'll say to me, Persis, but other people are getting results in 3 weeks, in 21 days, and I'm at the 30-day mark, and I'm not as far along as I'd like to be. First of all, I want to speak to this for 2 seconds. First of all, it's crazy because some of my people are the most self-critical people in the entire world. Like, they've literally conquered Mount Everest, but like they can't fully see their win. And so what I'll tell them all the time to just kind of like give them a little bit of encouragement is, remember that you're doing the fundamental work. You're not obsessed with quick fix techniques anymore because you're on the big girl, big boy stuff now. And so when it comes to that, imagine it takes you, let's just even say 45 days to heal this stuff at the root level all the way through to your core. Do you think you're going to give a rat's patootie once again about the fact that it took 45 days versus 21? No. You're just going to be happy that it's gone. You're just going to be happy that you're not going to have to deal with that garbage anymore. And so at the end of the day, it's just so important to keep the bigger things into perspective, which is feeling whole. You know, being able to be in a scenario where you can attract your desires on demand, on autopilot, is a skill that you cultivate internally. And it's an incredible experience, unlike anything ever before. I'm now in a scenario where I can think about something a couple of times and I'll see evidence of it pretty quickly because I'm very detached and I know how this law works. And I know that I need to be able to put up, meaning like put up my hard work. I say this all the time. It's like a put up or shut up situation. I don't say it to be mean. I just say it to be honest. We have to put out our hard work to shift our belief systems or be happy where we are. There really isn't an in-between because nobody's handing out these pretty shiny little packages saying, you know what, here's $200, collect, go. You don't need to work on your limiting beliefs and you can still have your desires too. We took into account all the things that happened to you that were awful. And you know what, we just think that you can have this free pass. Here you go. No.
Right.
Everyone bleeds the same blood. We're all in the same boat. We're rowing in the same boat. We're working towards a very similar goal and a mission. And I want you to become obsessed with just being the best versions of yourself and feeling the best because you deserve to feel good. You deserve to be successful. Like, that's actually your birthright. You just haven't learned how to be that yet. And that's okay. Yet is the key word. Doesn't mean you're going to stay stuck forever. It just means that your next level comes with a bit of a different mindset. It comes with a little bit of different work than what you're currently doing. And that's okay. Success leaves footprints. Success leaves footprints. If we finally figure out how to successfully build a house, we don't say, how can I build it completely differently? We say, okay, let me duplicate that process that built me a successful house. You know what I mean? It's just so crazy. But I want to dive in a little bit and I want to ask you, from your point of view, what was the biggest differentiating factor when coming into coaching? What do you think made the biggest transformation for you? Or maybe what things, if it was like multiple?
The biggest thing, I think what I was mentioning a little earlier, really the emotional part.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, like the emotional part and the affirmations as well. I really, I created, you know what I actually did? I actually created affirmations according to counteract any negative thought that was be constantly coming to my mind that I would at one time accept, pretty much.
Yeah.
I would basically toss it out and be like, I do not resonate, with this story anymore in my mind.
Yeah.
And I would basically fill it in with whatever it is, the opposite, of whatever I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that did. Of course, the subliminals did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then really, like, just all of it, you really have to kind of become, like you were saying, pretty much, you have to become, excuse me, obsessed with wanting to see the outcome.
Yeah.
Like you said, like that is such a true statement. You have to become obsessed with the process.
You do.
Yeah, you really, really do. And that's why, and that's actually why I've been seeing things change pretty much. I've been seeing things change because I became obsessed with the process of having my life be better than what the heck it is.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, I told your mom this. I was actually basically in ministry. I was in ministry for a long time. And of course, you know what that means. That means being selfless. That means, so on and so forth. And I don't associate myself with that anymore.
Okay.
But the whole point was to become a better person.
Right.
That
Absolutely.
was the whole point.
Absolutely.
Of even being in that. Even doing that. That was it. And then of course you realize, I'm not a bad person. Like, what the heck? Why am I going through this stuff? Like, why am I going through this shit?
Literally.
Literally, like, why am I going through this shit? Like that, I shouldn't be experiencing this. So, like I said, when I came in contact with you, I was like, you're the missing link. You were the missing link. And I really took to heart the things that you said. And I even got the journal too. I didn't even mention to you guys that the first thing that I purchased was the journal.
Ooh, I love the journal. The journal is so good.
Yeah, that was the first purchase that I actually made, was the journal. And then I purchased the money thing. I can't even get it out right now. You don't know.
Yeah.
But I purchased that because I want to definitely attract and manifest, a certain amount of money. And really just, not even just that, really manifesting just wealth, period. Being a wealthy person, accepting, like you said, it's a birthright. And that's really what I look at it as. I look at it as being a birthright. I don't look at it as, just some, I'm, got money today and poor tomorrow, that kind of thing. No, I deserve for this to be ever going and ever flowing.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty much what I would say definitely about that. It's just like, one thing that I would love to tell the people is just really truly listen, take heed to what you're saying and listen to the steps, because you're really giving away a lot of free advice.
Yeah.
You're giving away a lot of free advice, and you're not busting people over the head with this life-changing advice, and you could be doing that.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, I totally get it. I totally understand. Yeah. And it's just so crazy, right? Because sometimes people also resist simplicity being the answer because they've tried the things, but they didn't work. And it's like, but you didn't do it correctly. Because if it works for 8 billion other people, it works for you too. You just haven't applied it correctly. So I tell people all the time, there's I think I say 4 or 5 things that are missing. 1 is education. 2 is application. 3 is consistency. 4 is discipline. And 5th is a personalized or customized approach. Out of the thousands of people we've worked with, we've noticed these 5 things are the only reason they don't have what they want. You could have 1 of those, 2 of those, 3, 4, or all 5. Whichever ones you have, the difficulty with having those problems or, however you want to frame it, is that a lot of times it requires an intervention to solve. Nobody goes to school to become a manifestation coach. I decided to get what I call in a humorous way, my mini self-proclaimed PhD by self-studying this for years to become a coach and mastering it in every area of my life. However, people don't want to devote years of their lives and get their own mini bachelor's or mini PhD in this type of stuff. They want to be able to get it to work now. But the reason I say that is because I didn't know how to solve my blockages. I don't know what my blockages are. I just know that I'm doing the things year after year, and I'm still frustrated because I don't have what I want. I think that that's just so freaking relatable. That's just so freaking relatable. How many people have been doing the things for such a long time? Like, you have a morning routine. You're doing the affirmations. You're doing the meditations, and yet you don't have what you want, despite your efforts, despite how many of them you're doing. And it feels discouraging. And you've put in like so much effort to learn these things. Like, you've done it all. And yet your love life, your money life, your health hasn't been changing. Like, you're starting to now wonder, like, are you just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Like, is this even available for you, like, at all? And you really wanted to see something tangible in your life, but it's just not happening, and it hasn't happened yet, and you don't have any evidence that anything's moving. So you're doubting yourself, you're questioning yourself, you're questioning the process. You see other people have crazy results, but you've got no clue as to why you can't have that for yourself. And this is honestly just due to the fact that the work that you're doing isn't touching your actual belief system, and you don't believe what you're affirming. So it's making no impact on your reality at all. You're not actually shifting at a core level. You're not actually shifting your emotion. Like, and that's a complex conversation, but it's crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy what happens when you start to do the correct work and you do it correctly. And I'm not trying to say that it implies that, you know, certain ways don't work, because different people, like I said from the beginning, have different brains. But if something isn't working and you've been at it for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4, you know, like I make in my humorous little Dr. Seuss example, like 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. It's like, okay, we need to kind of understand, well, how are other people doing it? Because there are people who are doing it in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4. Why am I in the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 category? Some part of what I'm doing must not be the same as what the people that are getting results in weeks are doing. And that's all that I put out there to people, is to try to get them to understand that success has, you know, leaves footprints, and there are things to learn from there. And yeah, I mean, I just think that this work is so important, and it just needs to be seen and heard and understood by so many people, because the answers are so simple. In a few shifts, you can literally have everything that you want. But part of your brain may not think that's possible because you've done all the things. You've tried all the things, but it hasn't worked. I can try things, but if I'm not doing it correctly, it literally doesn't work. I gave this humorous little example on a coaching call literally earlier today. I said, I can have a toaster and I can try to make toast, but if it's not plugged in, it doesn't matter how much I'm trying to make toast. Toast isn't going to magically happen.
That's right.
Right? Like, it's just, I can't make toast if it's not plugged in. I can't make toast if I'm not making toast correctly. Like, I need to be able to plug it in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's just what this process is all about. It's about plugging into the things correctly so that you can also be one of those people. And obviously coming in with the correct mindset, the big boy, big girl mindset, to be able to facilitate and create that type of change. I never had to try to be successful when I became obsessed with the process that creates success. And that's why I'm in a scenario where I know when I put my head down, pardon me, and I make a decision, things are going to happen. So it's really just about the time frame of when I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, my life is not going to be perfect, but I know that when I make that decision, I'm going to mess shit up. You know what I mean? And in a really good way.
That's it.
In a really good way. And everybody has that capability. It's just all about that grit, that fire, that determination, that being in a scenario where you're fired up about it and you're ready to put your head down and run your race when someone gives you literally the answer key to your whole manifestation. The people that do so good are the people that are like, put me in, coach. Like, just tell me what to do and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be the best student you ever had. Those people, oh my God. I put my head on the pillow and I just thank God for them. I'm just like, thank you so much, because those are the people that are just a gift. They are a gem to work with. Those are the people that are really doing the game-changing work. I just get to sit here like a pretty little princess and talk about it, but like they are messing shit up in the best way possible for themselves, and it's because they're so determined. They're like, just give me the stuff and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it so good. I'm going to do it better than it's ever been done before. And I'm just like, I'm excited. And it's just so fun. All right, my love. Well, we've had a really incredible chat. I want to allow you a moment, though, as well, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, to bestow any like wisdom or knowledge you have for the people, is what I'll say. And if you have any last minute tips, tricks, advice, like how much even did this coaching make a difference for you in achieving your goal? I know that it might be going without saying, but I only am going to ask because people ask me to ask. And so any things that you have to add, I want to kind of give you the floor to speak.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
What I would tell people is, number one, to literally not be hard on yourself. You have to make a decision going into this process. You have to make a decision to not be hard on yourself, and you really have to first fall in love with yourself in a way where you don't even need anybody else's love because you love yourself that damn much.
Yeah.
You know? And then I would also say become obsessed with it. Become obsessed, like we were talking about throughout the whole conversation.
Yeah.
Become obsessed with the process.
Yeah.
It really truly is. It's not, to me, it's a never ending process, but not really. It is, but it ain't at the same time, because when you have so many different beliefs that you have, like you said, that can start all the way from 4 years old. You literally have to unlearn a lot. You have to be ready to unpack and unlearn a lot.
Yeah.
And one of the other big things, it's really not hard. It really is making a decision to choose to believe.
Yeah.
And follow the process, knowing that any good thing is possible for you. Because we've already believed in a lot of bad things being possible for us, and watched that happen over and over again.
True.
So,
literally, we're just switching things up just a little bit. If it works in the negative, it's got to work in the positive.
Seriously. And it's once you get certain things like that down pat, you'll see things begin to shift. And like Person said too, don't look at the time, don't look at how long it's taking. Literally, once I made the decision to get happy and to be happy with or without, that's literally when I began to see everything drastically shift. Literally, I began to see many things. I literally started having you have no idea, all kind of things happening to me. I have people reach out to me and apologize about things from over 10 years ago. I really started seeing a lot of different things.
I love it.
Just because I made a decision to be happy with or without, period.
Yeah.
And I also will say, create some incredible affirmations, especially for people, because some people might be in a season where they can't really afford, to invest in certain things right now anyway. But I'm believing that people, including myself, are going to be able to afford coaching with you, personal coaching with you as well. Because but also going back to like just the videos, all the videos that she has out. Like if you guys can go look at her success stories, I think I've literally looked at all of your success stories.
And there are a lot. There are a lot.
I literally, when I worked overnight, I literally would listen to your success stories my whole shift.
Yeah.
Literally. And I would literally sit there and do that. I would put it in my ear and I walk around and I stop and I take notes. Excuse me, that's another thing I would do is I would take a lot of good notes that I felt like would be beneficial for me.
Yeah.
But people have to really just make up their mind to believe that good things can happen to them. It don't matter how long you've been going through a cycle of terrible things happening to you. All you have to do is stop where you are right now and make a decision to know that your life can shift for the absolute better, period.
Yeah.
Like literally a way can be made out of no way kind of thing. Because that literally is like how it happens. It just like comes out of nowhere and it really can be mind blowing.
Yeah.
When it starts to happen and just continuing to keep the momentum of knowing that good things, even when you see like, because of course we, like you said, people are not perfect and all that other stuff. And you can have moments where you can have like a little moment, and that's what I love about Persis too, everybody. Like Persis is super transparent about her
over honest
everything.
Yeah.
Any type of challenges you went through. That was the other thing that was so amazing to me. Because like you said, a lot of coaches and mentors and whoever, they are not transparent like that. They're gonna literally paint this, they're branding themselves to paint this perfect picture that's not even real for people who are really trying to actually grow,
And I'm going to come on here and I'm just going to shit on everyone's parade. Just be like, this is some hard fucking shit. But if you're willing to go through the mud, you can have a completely new life on the other side. I'm like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be awful. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be crying. You're going to be miserable. But is it going to be the best thing you've ever done? And is it going to work better than anything you've ever done? Yes. But are you going to feel like shit sometimes? Are you going to be like going through the trenches sometimes? Yes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I do not portray negative image, like in the sense, like I'm not going to sit here and lie and paint a pretty picture. And that's why only the people who want it the most actually end up succeeding. Because you got to have grit. You got to have fire. You got to have hunger when nothing in your life is working out. And you have no reason to believe better. That's where like a freaking champion is made. Like I did not get to the life that I have right now by not experiencing extreme hardships. Like when I tell you guys, and I know I've already said on this live already, like I remember the days that I would be crying on Christmas, crying on my birthday. I'd be crying in a grocery store, not having 2 dimes to rub together, literally calling my dad and being like, I can't afford these groceries. Can you cash out me $20? I remember that, and I used it as motivation. And that's what makes me successful versus someone else who gets beaten down by their circumstance. When you're at the bottom, ain't nowhere to go but up. You can either build a fort in the shit, or you can use it to propel yourself upward. And that's just how like the world works in that manner. So I feel incredibly grateful to have experienced the lows because they've allowed me to experience the highs. And so this is literally just a willpower, a determination, and a grit scenario, because I had to be able to reframe a lot when I had no physical evidence of it. And that's what allowed me to be successful, and why other people in my situation or better situation or maybe even worse situation, if you don't have that skill, you can want it. Want it doesn't mean you're getting anything. Wanting is like getting a participation certificate. You don't want a participation certificate. You want the thing. You know what I mean? And so it's just, I say this so lovingly to people, but you're not going to get anywhere in life until the pain of staying the same supersedes the pain of the actual transformation. Like nothing's going to end up happening for you. It's a willpower thing. It's a willpower and it's a consistency thing. Think about it this way. I want to give you one more quick example. You know how, let's pretend you have a plan to go to the gym and lose or gain 20 or 30 pounds. Let's just play pretend, okay? Play pretend with Persis here. When you have a goal to lose or gain weight, do you go to the gym even when you're crying? Even when you're miserable? Even when you're depressed? Even when you're hurt? Even when you're sad? Even when you have a good day? Even when you have a bad day? People don't do the mindset or manifestation work when they have or are struggling with the bad days. And that's what makes sure that the good days don't happen. Because you get defined by your emotions versus if you just have a bad day, but you still go to the gym, well, you're still going to end up losing and or gaining the weight depending on your goal. If you just keep going, regardless of how you feel and regardless of what you're seeing externally, you're going to eventually drop the weight. You're going to eventually put on the weight if that's the goal. But if you keep being defined by your emotions and say, because I had a bad day, I can't do this. Because I feel sad, I can't do this. Because I feel miserable, I can't do this. Because I feel depressed, I can't do this. I'm like, but what if it was just and instead? It's like, I feel depressed and I'm going to do it anyway. I feel sad and I'm going to do it anyway. I feel like not good and I'm going to do it anyway. I feel at ease, and I'm going to do it anyway. People just want to do it when it feels convenient to do. It's very, very easy to do things when everything is sunshine and rainbows. It takes no discipline. It takes no willpower. It takes no motivation. It takes no control. It takes a lot, though, when things are on a bad day. It takes a lot, though. It takes a lot. If you're not willing to do it on the bad days, I guarantee the good ones won't happen. Because people just want to be able to do it when they're happy. But the price of doing it happy is doing it sad, doing it hurt, doing it crying, doing it while not feeling good. And it is the act of doing that that allows you to do it relaxed, do it happy, do it motivated, do it peaceful, do it at ease. But people just want to do it the way they want to do it. And that's why things aren't always working out the way they want. That's a complex conversation, though. That's a big girl, big boy conversation. But I do love how these conversations have progressed during our time together. What are your thoughts?
I agree with everything you said. I don't even have nothing to add to it. I don't even have nothing to add to it.
I don't got nothing.
Everything you said, you're an incredible teacher.
Yeah.
You're definitely an incredible teacher. And I actually was a teacher too for many years. And like an actual school teacher.
I love it.
And you're an incredible teacher. And everything she's teaching guys is in a very simplified form. It really is just getting over the emotional state. And one main thing, it is discipline. Have the discipline, like you said, to do it, no matter how I've done this crying with snot coming out my nose and everything. Excuse me, TMI, but literally I stood there and I was like, no, this is how it's going to be. No, this is how it's going to happen. Like, I don't care what the 3D is saying. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Because like she said, you become sick and tired of being sick and tired of the same old thing. So it's like, no, I'm going to focus on this and on, and all of that. And you literally will watch things shift. Don't try to figure out the how, when, and where. Just know that it's going to happen. Literally know like you never knew nothing else that it's going to happen. Like you said, know like you can't be disappointed from what you want.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, you really have to get to that place of knowing and just, like, you won't be disappointed. That what you want is going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my love, I've really appreciated our time together. I am going to let you go. I'm excited for when we do a part 2 of this success story, because I know things are going to continue to move in amazing ways in your world. But I'm excited. Enjoy your engagement ring shopping. Enjoy your house shopping. I'm so jealous, but I love to see my people winning, as they should. And I just can't wait for all the beautiful things that are going to continue to unfold.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Yes, and can Mom still hear me?
She's going to hear you, yeah.
Thanks, Mom. We appreciate everything.
I love that my parents have additional bonus children. I love that for them. I love that for them. They have bonus children. I make jokes all the time. I'm like, you can like rent them for the weekend and I'll just like send them to you, because we make jokes all the time about being sick of each other because we're in very close quarters. So whenever someone's like, oh, I love your mom, I'm like, you can have her for the weekend if you want, you know what I mean? We're constantly roasting each other in that manner. I'm like, you can take her if you want, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
that's amazing.
Switch
that's
things
up. Love language to me.
I know. I think it's great. I love it.
But yes, thank you, Persis. I appreciate everything. I appreciate everything so much from all of you.
I'm excited. You keep shining. I know you're going to kick ass and take names, as you should. And it's only just the beginning.
That's right.
All right.
Wholeheartedly.
Have a great rest of your day, and we will chat soon.
Thank you. You as well, dear.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, my loves. That was a hell of a live. We've been here for a hot minute. But how do you feel? I mean, I just think it's amazing and incredible. I don't even know how, like, she was just dropping little success bombs as if they were nothing. Like, oh yeah, and we're picking out engagement rings. Oh yeah, and we're house shopping. Oh yeah, and this happened, you know, with my money. And I'm just like, oh yeah, and this person 10 years ago reached out to me and apologized for something. I'm like, what? Sorry, pardon, excuse me, I'm so sorry. But I hope it comes through. But like, obviously I just glow to see people succeed. And that's what I really want and desire. So it's always a treat to hear how the success is successing. And I'm obsessed with it, because the work works 100% of the time, as long as you're working the work, is what I'll say. I will post this up on YouTube as always. Questions about MU. When you join, do you get access to past live Q&As? Yes, you do. You can purchase MU. You'd need to email us for that link because it's been taken down. Or you can join Chosen, which is like live. But that's totally up to you. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever makes you happy. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about anything at all, you want to hop into this, you want to become a next success story, you want to work together, whatever it may be, we have an email and/or the link is in the bio to check out some of our offerings. Outside of that, I just hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day, you sexy, sexy individuals. And I know that we're going to be chatting very, very soon. And yeah, who knows? Maybe next time we're chatting, we're going to be in a different environment in a new house. And so that's really exciting as well. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, as always, and we will chat soon.